Hello, everyone, and Happy New Year. I haven't posted in a while. It's been a busy holiday season. Last year, which wasn't too long ago, I spent a lot of time promoting the Magic River series. Um, in between, I've been working a little bit on a brand new manuscript, and so I kind of had to put it on the back burner because there was so many things going on with my latest release, Courage Through Time. But now that it is January and it's a cold day, I think it was like 11 degrees this morning. So I have my little fluffy, cozy coat on. It's a little chilly in my office slash guest room. So I started working on this brand new manuscript again. I am about 58,000 words in. Now, I've been kind of working on this on and off for about a year and a half, in between everything, like I said. So now I'm just going to get right down to the nitty gritty of it. And I kind of scrolled back to the beginning of my manuscript, which is actually a mistake because what happens is you start reading it, you start correcting it, you find misspelled words, you want to rearrange sentences. I can't help myself, but I did that today because I just wanted to read you a little excerpt from the opening lines of this new story. So the story is mostly takes place in the 1920s and 30s. So it's like during the Depression. So let me just read you these opening lines. Now, mind you, this is like raw material. Like no editor looked at it. This is just me all by myself, editing it, this one paragraph all by myself. So I'm sure there's mistakes, but well, I'm sure my editor eventually will find mistakes, but that's okay. I was actually inspired to write this because it's set in a time kind of my grandmother's era back then, and how people were, and some of the immigrants that came over, and how they had to survive in New York City, and just the era and how everything was. But these are the opening lines. The warm air swayed the lace curtains as it drifted into the room, carrying with it a smell of roses from the nightstand. A gift from the man who stood stoic with sadness in his eyes. He was middle-aged, dressed in black pleated pants and a blue dress shirt. He brushed loose strands of gray and brown hair from his eyes, captured by the same warm breeze from the window. He lowered himself in the chair by her bed where she lay helplessly. She looked upon him with uncertainty as he scratched out words in a notebook with his pen. She wondered if he worked for the newspaper, or perhaps he was writing a novel. He had yet to say, he had yet to give his credentials. He seemed familiar to her. Then he spoke. I know it's been a long time, the man uttered his sympathetic words. But if you could, will you tell me your story? Okay, that's the opening paragraph. And that's kind of what I came up with in the very beginning. And like I said, I am 3/4 of the way done with this manuscript. I am actually in a part where the plot all comes together and there's like a lot of stuff going on, and then it'll be resolved. So I have to write some action next. I am right there. I'm writing action, and there's a lot going on, and then I have to write the ending. But that's going to take a while. That's about another 30,000 words. And so, writing a novel is a huge task. It really amazes me how many people are actually doing it. I mean, there's a lot of hardy people out there writing these wonderful stories. Now, on December 7th was my presentation. And at my presentation, I told a little bit about myself, and then I went on to tell about how, Journey Through Magic River and Courage Through Time. I told a little bit about the first book, and then it went into the second book. So the second book, after the conclusion of the first book, the story picks up in the second book 5 months later. I love the concept of a present day character finding themselves mysteriously back in time to a specific place in history. And I also love American history, and particularly in times of war or impending wars or catastrophic events. I can place the characters in those moments as they have full knowledge of what's to come. And that knowledge in and of itself is a curse for these characters. And if you're interested in any of my books and you want to know more, you can go to my website, AnneMariePichetWriter.com. And there's a link to buy each book, and there's a blog. I haven't really written in the blog in a while, but I think what I wrote in my blog is kind of timeless. It doesn't matter if you haven't read them. I have a lot to do this winter, so I'm going to run a cozy little shirt. I'm going to write. Until I get it down, 30,000 more words. Keep you updated. Okay? Take care.